Paul, we're standing in the middle of your shop, which is filled with some very beautiful Asiatic items and objects. Could you tell us a little about your shop in general?
Well, it started actually a long time back. As a child, I started to collect, and then I started to work in all my free time with an antique dealer in The Hague, and slowly this grew around me, actually. Yeah.
Now, a lot of the objects are from different places. Do you have a specialty that you like to do?
We do have, that is Northern Buddhism, art from Nepal, Tibet, Thailand, Burma, India. It's a huge amount of different subjects and objects, and that's actually what you can see around here. It's like a treasure trove of objects from all over the world, even Africa. The only thing we don't have is actually South American things, or North American things. Yeah.
Now, behind us are some paintings, I think you said they're from South China. Could you tell us a little about those?
Yeah, there is actually one painting, and on the rear of it you can see, well, you can see but not read probably, because it's in a strange language, that it is made in 1883, and it was made for a particular type of people. They are called the Yao. They live in the border area of Yunnan and northern Burma, and each village is supposed to have one complete set, and we actually have the luck that we do have a complete set, and it's a really great rarity to find one. So we are happy to show it here.
I notice over here in the corner there's a Buddha head. It appears to be very old. Could you describe that for me?
Well, actually, this Burmese Buddha hat was found a long time back, actually, in the 50s, by an American colleague. His name was William Wolfe, and if he bought it or took it, I actually do not know. But it came into this world through his hands, and what I can tell about this Buddha hat is actually that it is from the mid-12th century, northern Burma, Pagan, and that it must have been a huge statue. If you see the size of the hat, you also must be able to imagine that it must have been 3-4 times bigger than a human being. The hat is about 24 inches high. It means when you multiply, it's about 4 meters high statue, which is enormous.
Speaking of that, how do you find out what some of these objects in fact really are?
Well, we sometimes can't find out at all, because that is sometimes really the problem. You find occasional objects. Nobody knows anything about it, neither us nor anyone else. So we have a kind of discussion sometimes with colleagues from outside Holland. We put a thing on the table and we discuss, what might this be? Do you know? Have ever heard anything of it? Well, that way sometimes we are able to find out.
Paul uses various means to determine whether an object is genuine, how old it might be, and possibly its origin. Here he examines one of his personal favorites, a Chinese Buddhist ritual object. With the microscope, he checks the object's patina and condition.
This is actually the object. It's a Buddhist scepter. It comes from China. And it is a real imperial vajra. It's gilded bronze, and as you can see, all those signs, all those characters, it says that it is from the Changrong period. That is a good 18th century piece. And what we do is we check these things always very carefully. And that way we can see if something is right or wrong.
Religious and ritual objects are often the most sought after. Small flaws and repairs add to their uniqueness. Many of these objects are mysterious, filled with the power of belief and magic.
So here you see a Shamans Mask. It's from the northwestern side of Nepal, from the Gurung people. And it is actually made by the shaman who has been wearing it. What he does, he goes into meditation. Then he asks probably the gods how the mask should be shaped. Then he makes it with his own hands. And while going in trance, he actually forms the connection between the sky, the gods, and the earth, the people. So this mask is really, really very, very well made and strong. It has also on the rear fantastic patina. Must have been used many, 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 many times to get a patina like this actually.
Sometimes collectors become the only means of preserving these sacred and ritual objects. A case in point is Tibet, where so much has been lost during the Chinese destruction of that country.
Actually, without the help of His Holiness and quite a number of people around him, they actually, it's not that they export these things themselves, but at least they get a safe place where all these religious objects are going to, and it is very well taken care of. So this way it will be preserved. I think it's very important. And he sees that also as a very important thing, because will he ever go back to Tibet? Who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. The Chinese want him back. But I think for him it is not safe to do that. So slowly he gets more people behind him in the West who maybe recreate religious-wise what has been in Tibet. So it is, instead of being in Tibet, it's now mainly outside Tibet. So and it spreads all over. It's in France, Switzerland, Germany, not to forget the United States, Scotland, everywhere. It's fantastic.
Paul, thank you very much for talking with us today.
Okay, thank you.